now moving on to my actual day pack. And I want to make a quick note here. I do have a field tech with me on this project, so there are a couple things that she carries in her pack. That's just how this trip is going to work. I'll tell you about a couple of the things that she carries that you would need to carry if you were working on your own. And I also want to make note, I love this pack. It is too small for what we're doing out here. There are a couple other things I would take off of Tony's pack. If I could, if I had a slightly larger pack. And if we ever need to carry camera traps out to our field sites, I can't do this in this pack, so Tony has to carry them, and I'm really lucky to have a field tech who is fine with that, but next year I'm definitely going to be going for a bigger pack. So, it's already quite heavy though. That's the downside. So I'm going to just show you, again, we'll kind of go through the quick access things, and then we'll go deeper and deeper into the pack. So in kind of no particular order, but from the quick access things, here I have a Borealis folding saw. So I use this because we're working on a lot of decommissioned logging roads, and if we want to access somewhere with the truck and there's just a log or two down, it's really nice to be able to move it. Our boat captain, who is kind of a local do-it-all sort of guy, he works as about 5 different members on our field crew all in one. He's amazing. He often carries a chainsaw with us in the truck, but sometimes he forgets it, sometimes he doesn't have it. And it's also nice, we'll use this kind of for the same purpose if we're in other situations where we're on foot, but might still want to get something out of the way. So the nice thing about this, it's quite light, and you can actually fold it all the way out like this, and then it snaps into place. I love this saw. Genuinely, I love this saw so much. I borrowed one from a friend when I was competing on Call to the Wild, which was a very silly survival show that I did at one point a long time ago. And got one for myself afterwards because I love it. Okay, next up in the easy access bear spray. So this is clipped right here where I can easily reach it. It's carabinered on. And then from here, I just have to take it out, take the safety off, and would be able to use this in the event of bear charge. Then here I have my phone. I use this, I have Gaia GPS topo maps downloaded for everything on our project. Also obviously need to take photos of my dog being awesome, or maybe a wolf or something. So that needs to be quick access as well. I've got my water hose, which both Barley and I share. I'm able to kind of spray it into his mouth without him licking it too much. I can't use either of these pouches on my pack because Barley has chewed through them, but maybe on my next pack I'll be able to do that. And then let's see, what else is quick access? I think that's it on the outside. So now we'll move into the brain of the pack. Here we have a hair sampling kit. So this has alcohol wipes, coin envelopes, and a couple different tweezers. So we use the alcohol to kind of wipe down the tweezers, get them all ready to go, and then we pull pieces of hair that we suspect to be wolf off of hair traps or other kind of marking trees, and then we put that into these little coin envelopes. This is my spot beacon. I use this to send check-in messages every night when we are safe home at camp. The check-in messages that are predetermined are free to send, so I send those to my parents, my advisor, and our partner here in Alaska every night. And the battery on this thing's awesome. I actually basically never turn it off. We also can send SOSs or other more detailed messages if we need to. Then I have a bunch more fully charged batteries. I'm a little crazy about keeping AA batteries available for Barley's GPS because that's how we kind of do everything in the field. And then I have one sad snack in here. If I was actually going out for fieldwork, I would have a lot more snacks. And I tend to keep some snacks in my pack's brain, and some bigger snacks in the actual body of the pack. Just kind of have a couple things that are easy access and a couple things where it's like, we're actually sitting down for lunch, then we can pull these out. Okay, so now we move further into the pack. It looks like I must have stolen one of Tony's cut-proof gloves because I found the other two. And I'm quite sure these are mine, so I must have one of hers in here. Oops. This is our data sheets. So here is it's a clipboard that actually will hold our data sheets within it. And we've got a couple different types of data sheets depending on what we're doing for the day. 2 different pencils in case one breaks. So at this count, we now have 3 pencils available to us. We have another Write in the Rain notebook just in case. We have a data cheat sheet with some of our shorthands saved on here. That all goes in here, and generally, if we're in an area where we're getting a lot of wolf scat all at once, I'll actually keep this out and just carry it in my hand, but when we're kind of commuting in between areas of high density, I keep it in the pack. I have a pack cover, waterproof. This is often on my pack. Okay, and then rain pants. If these are not on me, they are in here. A rain jacket. I choose colors that are relatively easy to see from a helicopter. I like the idea of my mom at least being able to find my body if something goes wrong. So it's a little ridiculous, the color palette, but what are you gonna do? Got a headlamp, trying to make sure that's fully charged in between every stint. More snacks. More snacks, I love snacks. And then we have Barley's long line, and this is kind of held together with a handy little cord. I have not been using his long line very much for this project at all, but I do like to carry it with me in case we accidentally come upon a den site where I might need to leash him, keep him close, and then let other people go into the den site. It would be dangerous to allow him to go into a den site or to get too far away from me when we're that close to parents and their pups. Then I have about a million more Ziploc baggies and then some Mylar bags. If we get any good training samples that I want to keep for later on, I put them in the Mylar. Otherwise, the Ziploc is what we use for most of our actual samples. I have really cold hands, and as I mentioned, it's quite cold here, and I really hate being miserable, so I carry 3 pairs of gloves. These are a little warmer and will do a little bit better as like work gloves. And these are just liner gloves. It's kind of ridiculous, but I really hate having cold hands, and I have horrible circulation in my hands. Then I carry a couple pairs of dog booties, or a pair of dog booties, just in case something happens and we need them there. A spare bear bell for Barley. Barley wears a bear bell at all times in the field, not really for bears, but so I can hear him. And I carry a spare in case his gets ripped off. So far it hasn't on this project, but when we were in Guatemala, we went through like 4 bear bells in 8 days or something like that. So carry it just in case. All right. Now I've got my Wiggies. So these are kind of like pull-on waders that you can actually put, they come up to your hips. They'll go all the way over your boots. They're awesome. We've used them for a couple stream crossings and they've really saved our butt because some of the streams do come up to, you know, mid-thigh here, and we would have a really hard time crossing them, or we might not be able to safely without these. And they go on even over, we've got like these huge Alpha Burley boots. They go on over those just fine. All right. And then this is a Pack-A-Paw rescue harness. I've never needed to use it. I have tested it, but this would allow us to carry Barley out of the field if we absolutely needed to in like the event of a big emergency. Like if something happened and he were unconscious or in any other way unable to carry himself out, walk himself out. So those are the main things in my pack. If you are not kind of a high level safety nerd, you can kind of stop watching here, because next up I'm going to take you through what we call a possibles pouch, okay? So I'm going to pull that out. And then I'm going to put all of this away, and then we'll come back to show you all this. Again, if you're not like out there, you might not need a lot of the stuff here. So now's a fine time to bow out. Thank you for watching. Be back in a sec.